Hey guys, it's been 4 months since my last video, so I'm gonna try to quickly catch you guys up on I don't know what I've been doing pretty much since the last time I uploaded. Pretty much still working on the same project. I mean, like I had a commission in the middle of it all, and I think that kind of took the wind out of me for a while. Um, Oh, and I got some pretty cool stuff to talk about concerning that stuff. But yeah, I guess I'll just jump into like what I've been pretty much working on lately. So for a while, I had to take a break, obviously, because I think I was pretty much burned out. Like I was in denial about it for a couple centuries, but we came around to it. I talked to some friends. They told me I can't be just tanking all the time. I tend to do that. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm burned out, but like I'll just keep working and it'll figure itself out. Not really the best tactic or idea, but it did work for it did work for a little bit. That's probably why I kept doing it. But after a while, I just kind of ended up sitting. Like I'd wake up and I'm just like, shit, I need to start. I need to get back on this project. In the middle of all of that, I ended up like jacking my sleep schedule up pretty bad. So like I was staying up till 2 in the morning, and then I'd wake up right before I have to go to the grocery store or whatever. So that kind of just eliminated the couple hours that I would usually work on my stuff before I went to work. And I'm still in the process of actually unscrewing that right now. But in the midst of all of that, I just took a while to like do this little for fun drawing stuff. And it's not by any means like anything crazy, but it was just fun to like doodle around while I listened to like music, and that was pretty relaxing. So I guess you could say that's the first time since I've graduated that I just drew for fun, honestly. Um, and it's like I should probably do that more often, because most of the time when I'm drawing, it's like I'm trying to cater to some kind of portfolio piece that I'm probably missing, or trying to learn a new program, or like there's always like some kind of uh, reasoning behind what I'm doing that's not necessarily casual. I don't know how to explain it. Like I've never sat and drawn casually, because of uh, the obvious lack of employment. So it's like, whenever I think of art or drawing, I think of doing it to get a job. Like I don't see any secondary option for that. Like anything outside of anything along the lines of it being a hobby is just basically like in the back of my mind. Of course, it's still a hobby for me, um, and it's something that I still thoroughly enjoy. But like, it's just I can't really what's the word? Um, I don't know. It's hard to put the brakes on, and try to relax when I'm just in dire need of employment. I just This grocery store is just weathering me. It's fucking weathering me down, dude. These customers are like from another planet. I don't know where these people come from. Seriously, it's like some of the people that come in there are just like, I don't know. It's just recently I've been getting headaches like much more frequently than I ever would. Like I'd get a headache from work maybe, you know, once maybe once every few months, and it'll be from like one jackass customer that I just can't stop thinking about for some reason. Um, but yeah, recently it's just been every other week, and then now it's like every other day, and like when you sometimes have a headache coming on, like you can kind of feel it, and it's like, oh man, I hope that doesn't keep getting worse. But like it just does. There's nothing we can do about it, man. People are fucking idiots out there. But all right, so I'm gonna stop rambling, cause I really want to get through this video. I actually started recording. This is the end of my ramble. I actually started recording because I woke up at around 9:47 p.m. I laid down around 1:30 ish. It's my day off, so obviously I wanted to work on my stuff, and I ended up actually. Let me set my timer because I have clothes in the wash right now. I should put this on 33, 30. We'll say 35 minutes. Nah, because then the video is gonna be longer than that, and then I'm cooked. Because there's gonna be an alarm in the middle of the video. Whatever. What was I gonna say? I forgot, man. Shit. What was I saying? Um. Oh yeah, so I started recording the video because I woke up around that time and I just cannot like lock in. It's like I'm so tired, man. This shit's got me so exhausted, dude. I wouldn't say I'm like, here I go again. See, this is how I know I'm like still on that same ship. Like I was just about to say, I know I'm not burned out or anything. Like, like while explaining the fucking symptoms of being uh burned out. Um, yeah, it's getting harder and harder to to lock into finishing things. It's just like, man, I'm tired, man. Like it's like I'm not really getting. I mean, I'm getting results, but just not as quickly as I need to be getting results. I feel like that's anyone with anything. You start working out, you're not getting your biceps growing as quickly as you wanted it to. You're not like picking up that martial art as quickly as you wanted to. It's just always going to be the case. And like I know the answer is just patience and just stay. Don't cut corners. You know what I mean? Don't cut corners to finish something so you can take a break. So yeah, all right, let me just start recording or start this. So basically in the middle of all of this, I used to play this game RuneScape, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do some fan art type stuff. So I started just sketching. I pull up items that I saw from RuneScape that reminded me of the good old days, and for a while, this is very similar to the backpack thing I did, actually, the bag. That was one other project that I did that was actually pretty casual. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. And it was pretty, fun to do. It wasn't like tiring by any means. It was just, I'm doing this for fun. Sorry, hold on. I'm doing this for fun. There's no pressure, I'm just having fun with it. And I do this while I was just in Discord, just chilling out. So like I draw these little props and had them organized on a page and all color coded and stuff. And I just worked on these while I was talking to people in Discord, just having fun or whatever. This is kind of another version of that, I guess, but just in the style of RuneScape items that I remember from being a noob. So yeah, I started drawing all these and eventually I finished them. I mean, it was just like a bunch of random items that I probably had in my bank when I was like 12. And it ended up being pretty fun. Like I if you guys are able to name all these items, like I'll be pretty surprised. But yeah, it's just just having fun, and yeah, just memeing. So I think this is pretty much what I came out with. I was just like just having fun with it, just writing shit everywhere. And that was fun. So that took me a while of just relaxing and drawing, and that during that time I had fun. But I think the thing that scares me from doing this, right, is the fact that like I'm scared of getting so comfortable with drawing that like whenever it comes to discomfort, like I just completely avoid it and just go for comfort instead, because this is essentially what stops a lot of people from growing with art, is like you just stick to that comfort zone and you never want to go out of it. But when you're building portfolio pieces, I think, or at least when I am, that's kind of like my whole deal. It's like I don't want to do something that I know I can do. I want to do something that I'm not sure how to do, or like that I know I haven't done yet. That's always been like my thoughts behind anything that I've done on my portfolio. Like, for example, let me pull up my ArtStation real quick. So here, right? So here with this one, I think I've said this in other videos, so I'll try to like breeze through it a little bit more. But in this one, like, I did this one because I don't have any exteriors in my portfolio before that. Like, if you look at everything we did in FZD, it was pretty much interiors. Now, this is not to say that no one had any. Like, I can think of like 10 people off the top of my head. I know Cookie. I remember Cookie. She had some banger fucking exteriors. I think I saw on on the on her Instagram or something. You guys don't know who that is, but they know. I'm kind of just talking to my class at this point. But I remember Cookie. I remember Ethan. My boy Jerome, Satchet, and Evan. I know all those guys off the top of my head. Like, did exteriors, and I think everyone, dude, I'm pretty sure everyone did exteriors. This is the closest thing I did to an exterior shot in my FZD portfolio. So like I was just like, okay, well, I don't really have anything that showcases my ability to actually design the outside and not only just the inside, because usually these pieces are just like the inside of a building, and you don't see what makes like what the building looks like. And a lot of people did do this in my class. It's just I think I was trying to figure out so much at once that like I just kind of skipped over it or something. So in this case, yeah, like I said, just trying to focus on doing exterior shots and try to throw some sketches in there because I never really showed any of my sketches. I also showed my process as well as like some of the references that I was choosing from, the line work. And that was my first piece, like that I did outside of FZD. And then I, the next example of that was the sci-fi project or whatever. So I started doing, sci-fi, experimenting with these cinematic shots that you usually see from FZD students. Actually, let me pull up some FZD. Actually, I'll just do it right here. So FZD. Let's see what comes up. I'll just show some examples like high projects with AI. Okay. I don't know if this is. Oh, okay. So Mabel. I'm trying to see if do they have any cinematic shots. I don't know. I think Satcha has some really good ones. I know Evan had some. Jerome, let me look at theirs. Jerome summoned up. My boy. Okay, he's gonna hate me for pulling this one up because I remember he said, "Hey, I'm just gonna put this out there. He's able to do a lot better than this now." Yeah, I know he's gonna probably be like, "Oh fuck, man." Hey. Yeah, just painting kind of. I went to the exact one that bro said he didn't like anymore. Jerome, I'm sorry. Hey, we know you can do better than this now. It's not whatever. It's whatever, bro. But just these kind of painted, cinematic-esque shots. Let me see. Here, see, another like cinematic shot, like no line work or anything like that. Yeah, see. See, like it's like just I don't know how else to explain it, but that's just something else that I experimented with as well. Let me see. I know Evan has some. Evan McDoofus. See, the problem with bringing everybody up is like you don't want to forget anybody. You know what I mean? See, he has a cinematic shot as well. Like these guys have been busting their ass, by the way, like since we graduated. So obviously they're able to do a lot better than what we graduated with. I'm not the only one that's been working on things, But yeah, it's just like a no line work kind of painting, essentially, of the environment that you did a 3/4 for. But I kind of experimented with that here, but like I used line work instead of painting, and it didn't really come out the way that I was wanting it to, but I think it looked okay for what it was. Same here, I used line work instead of painting. I think it came out okay. It's just I'm being hard on myself, of course. Let me turn my mic, make sure I'm not too quiet. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of it, right? Like it's just I didn't have a sci-fi project before this, and then obviously this one is just a painting because I didn't have a painting before it, like a cinematic shot. And of course I add some seasoning on there. I add all the like progress and sketches and whatnot. This is usually how I tend to do my sketches, but I think my next thing is going to be leaning into perspective more, just because it's something that irritates the living shit out of me right now. It's like I'm able to, of course, translate a 2D sketch like a side sketch. Like in my mind, I'm able to imagine what the sides look like, what the top of it looks like. But for me to communicate that, it's very hard to do that with only, a flat sketch. But it's at the same time, it's also hard to, work on a perspective sketch while you're also like trying to figure out the perspective and you're not that comfortable with it yet. So it's going to be a little challenging to do both of those things at one time. This is usually why you'll see 2D sketches, because if you're obviously you don't want to be like guessing while you're trying to figure out. It's just like a battle on two fronts that you don't really need to do. If you're able to do it in 2D, fine, whatever. But I think, just in my opinion, I think it'd be cooler to look at and cooler to do if I could use at least 2-point perspective, dude. 1-point perspective, sure, maybe that'd be cool too, but I'm kind of locked in on 2-point right now, minimum at least. And then there's, of course, a lot of things that you can't really show through 2D sketches as well. Obviously, it's going to have its limitations. You can't really just slap this one method of working onto, like, say if it was a... I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with the examples right now, but, like, it's... I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying, right? So, back to why I brought that up in the first place, right? So, yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's just in general hard for me to keep a casual approach to art when it's something that I'm like actively trying to be employed for, and it's like if I'm not spending time, like of course it was fun, like I said, to do the fun like RuneScape doodles or whatever, like these right here, right? It's fun to do these, of course, but like it was just like I want to make sure that I keep myself focused, and I don't want to be tempted to do that too often. As fun as it was, like I feel like I should just focus on that kind of stuff once I'm more consistent with finding work, And it's like the longer I go without that work, right? It's like the more desperate I am to get out of the store. It's like, so I'm like much more tempted to call off. I'm much more tempted to just find another job because the one I have is getting boring. It's just so many things that come off of just, having a day job, of course, while trying to pursue a career and something else while both of those things are very time consuming. It's like you like I said earlier, you're just fighting on two fronts, and it's, of course, that's going to be exhausting, man. It's like you get home from work and then you need to immediately start thinking about, what you're trying to do with the other thing. And, yeah, there's been days, of course, that I called off from my day job just to work on my portfolio. It's like, I don't know. It's like, and it's not like I'm in a financial spot that I want to be doing that. It's just those days are just like, I wake up in the bed and I'm just like, man, I'd rather do like 12 hours right here than like 2 at work right now. And those are the days I usually just don't go in. I don't do that like every week though. Like it's like a once a month type thing probably. And I'm just being realistic here, man. Like, and this is another thing as well. Like, a lot of you guys have reached out, or a few of you guys have reached out talking about, like, you want to go to this school or that school, and what do I think about it? Like, do I think they'll teach you what you need to know to get into the industry? And I was talking to my one of my friends about this too. Like, one of my, or pretty much like my little group of friends from FCD. Pretty much all of them have had more consistent work than I have. So I figured, their opinion is probably more valuable than mine, considering I don't really have that much experience yet. So of course I asked them, and they pretty much, had their answers for it. And in my opinion, it's like, because it's hard for me to give that advice when I haven't achieved what they're trying to achieve yet. Of course I'm further down the road in terms of like finding it, but like I haven't found it yet. So I'd be talking out of my ass. I feel like I can't give advice. Okay, this is how I feel, right? I cannot give advice or solid advice without having experienced what works yet. Because I mean I've gotten a few commissions, right? A few contracts or whatever, but I don't I don't know how to word it, man. It's like I wouldn't like sometimes when I'm at work, right? And I work with a lot of like teenagers, like high schoolers sometimes, right? They're summer break, they come to the grocery store to work for a while, you know, and they always ask me like, "Well, how's it like what is it like running your business?" Like or that's how they see it, right? It's like I'm running a business or something. But like they'll be asking me these kinds of questions and like, "Oh, so what would you do if like you were starting from this point?" And I'm just like, "Dude, I have no fucking idea." Like I'm still figuring it out myself, you know. I mean, the only thing that I've really known up to this point is like either sending out emails and applying here and there, or like just working on my portfolio, and it's kind of confusing because most of the work I've gotten has been from either a friend working somewhere and him telling me like that, hey, these guys are probably looking for more concept artists, you should send them an email, or them just reaching out to me. So like I feel like that's why I'm already kind of biased towards just working on my portfolio, considering most of my work has come, or the other half of my work I should say, has come from people reaching out to me. It's like, okay, well, if they're coming to me based on what they see on my portfolio, then the most obvious step is to obviously, like, for me to add more to that portfolio. You get what I mean? It's like if your advertisement is the only thing bringing in customers and it's not your emails you're sending out, well, why would you double down on emails? I don't know. Like, of course it's important. I'm not saying like emails aren't important, okay? I'm just saying like that, like logically in my little caveman brain, I'm just like, okay, well that makes more sense to do. Like, um, yeah, I don't know. So that's probably why I've been, tripling down and just locking in on that more than anything. And then, of course, when I see jobs that I'm trying to apply to, like I see what they're asking for, so I write that down, and I'm like, okay, this is something to tackle in the future. Maybe this is something I can add to my portfolio further down the road. So it's just always thinking about what my shortcomings are and trying to add on to that. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm kind of just super hard on myself in terms of saying like my work isn't good enough to be hired. It's like because that's the evidence I'm being provided with. Like that's I don't know. I don't know how to like I'm not trying to doom or nothing, right? Like I'm just, off the top of the dome just letting you guys know like what that feels like, cuz it's an industry that's very easy to underestimate, in terms of how hard it is to get into. I mean, I haven't even touched the game industry, if I'm being honest. I've only worked on a book. I've worked on and some books, like some fantasy books, which is really cool, by the way. I'd love to do that more in the future. And this is something that I'm, keeping in mind for sure, like in terms of like companies that I send emails to. And an architecture place that like a creative like fabrication type thing. I haven't touched games at all, like when it comes to people saying that they want, that's what I meant to say earlier when I said like I have no experience yet. That's what I meant to say. Like I wasn't saying I like I don't have any game experience yet, so it's hard for me to tell people what works and what doesn't. That's why I valued the opinions of my friends more, because they have hundreds times more experience with games than I do. I haven't worked on any games, you know. Yeah, it's like a question that I can't really answer faithfully, or like I don't know, like in good consciousness or something. But yeah, I think that's enough rambling for now. I'm just gonna show what I've been doing so far with this project and explain why I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with it. I wouldn't say it's stuck, but like it's just kind of in like a free fall right now. I was trying to finish this damn thing by the end of this month. I don't think it's gonna happen, if I'm being honest. But hey, we'll see what happens, and then I'll show you guys some of the stuff that this company that I was working with did. It's pretty cool. So I'll fuck. I didn't clean up my hey. In the middle of this video, hey, I'm about to go move some shit out of the back of my webcam so I can turn it on and you guys can see some things. So I'll show that too. I'll turn my webcam on in a little bit. But yeah, so okay. So this is where I pretty much was last week, or last week, the 4 months ago or something. I was basically doing these sketches for like trying to figure out like different props and whatnot. If you want to see more of this stuff, like I go over all this stuff in depth in my last video. If I'm able to figure it out on YouTube, it'll probably pop up whenever I'm talking right now in the top right corner of the video or something like that. So yeah, that's all the stuff I was doing earlier, and I think at one point I was coloring these. No, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, yeah. See, I added some like base color to them, some little flavor, little flavor here and there. Yeah, I was doing some table sketches to see what I thought looked cool. So that's pretty much where I left off. And I was showing you guys also like these old sketches that I did before that I thought weren't really working. They didn't feel too stylized or anything, so I kind of scrapped them. And these alone were like a good like 40 hours or something. Like I was working on these throughout the week, and I just ended up scrapping them because I wasn't feeling it. This was like the first thing that I tried to. This is pretty much the first time I've painted over a prop here. Didn't come out as well as I thought it would, but compared to the 3D base that I was using, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, first pass, not too bad. Let me see. So wardrobe base, drag this up to the top, bada bing, bada boom. Put this right here. So yeah, this is pretty much the base 3D. And this is something that I've also noticed as well. Like as I've gone further in this project, like I'm starting to figure out, how big certain things need to be for me to add enough detail to them, right? Like here, it's like, by detail, I mean just the painting feel to it. And you'll know what I'm talking about later. Like just making things chunky enough so that they can have enough of the color change and all that fun stuff and the scratches and stylized edges, that kind of deal. So yeah, that's the before and after for that sketch, or for this paint thing. And then I had the chest. So this was the chest that I did right after. I think this one's a little better than that other one, but you can see like it's much chunkier in terms of like, I mean, with the prop being smaller in general, I was able to zoom in more on it so that these seemingly small surfaces are like a lot bigger than they would be if I was rendering them like, like this. Like there's no way I'm gonna paint this like this. You have to have this like big and then make it small. There's no way. I don't at least I don't know yet. So then that brings me to the render of my last chest that I was working on, or last chest prop or whatever. So this is what it looks like before, and like that's the after. So I just pretty much like made it a little bit just rendered in a stylistic way. Kind of similar to what some things that you would see on like Substance Painter, This is actually something I want to look into. I saw the subscription for that shit was like $24.99 a month. I'm not at a point right now like where I can go adding more subscriptions. You know what I mean? It just sucks that you can't just own things outright. Like if I could just buy the shit now instead of paying $24 a month for the rest of my life. God damn it. It's just these companies, man. It's for that reason alone that I'm almost tempted not to buy it. But it's such a good program, I've heard or I've seen, and a useful program that because essentially a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in these paintovers, like I could probably pull off with Substance Painter, and it would be a lot easier for me to just take it from 3D to Substance Painter instead of 3D to Photoshop. I mean, depending on what I'm trying to do. So that's why it's something that I'm kind of thinking about throwing some skill points towards. I'm not too sure about it yet, but it's on the radar for sure. So this is the first table that I made. Little babber we got going on here. The young babber table. This is, let me see, this is what it looked like before, or no, wait, here, let me drag here. I think this is it right here. Yeah, so this is pretty much what it looked like before. Let me drag this into Photoshop actually. Oh, what the hell? Why is it transparent? Okay, there we go. Then I could just drag it over. Okay, so yeah, this is basically what the base 3D model looked like, and then I just took it and made it a little bit more stylist, like made the rendering more stylistic. This is something that I'm also starting to be a little conscious of. Like, I love the way things are. Like, I like stylistically rendering things more than realistically doing it. But like another thing that I'm experimenting with is kind of just having more stylistic proportions. Not too crazy. I'm not talking about like having a damn, S curve. Like, I'm not trying to do some Club Penguin ass like stylistic shapes with my models or anything. But like, I just want them to be a little bit more chunky, because it, like I said, it just gives more space to paint on, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's pretty much the first pass for the table. Like, in my personal opinion, this one's okay. Like, I was still kind of figuring out a lot more, but this is leagues above what I started with the wardrobe. So I'm happy in that regard, or in that sense, if that makes sense. Yeah. So here's my second one. So the second one is a lot more. You see what I mean? It's a lot chunkier. It's not like super chunky, but like it's chunkier to where I can paint more fun stuff on it. And I've been working on the layout for this one a little bit. I'm saying this one's probably about like 80% there. And I even did a little bit of like paint over with some what's it called? Through like a little experiment in there. With the whenever I'm doing something that I consider safe, I try to throw a little bit in there that I wouldn't normally do. See how it works, and that was pretty much this thing, this little cloth. I just painted that one in there, and just it ended up fitting. So, I mean, at least it looks like it does for me. So, I was just like, okay, well, that's probably something I can do more often if I when I get more comfortable doing it. So yeah, that's that one. And then this is the layout for this segment. So this is where I'm at right now, right? I love how dude, this is probably the best painting I've done in my life so far. I'm not gonna lie. I really like how I handled a lot of the detail in this thing. And just so you guys, it's not done, by the way. It's just I'm just still in the phase of like figuring everything out. But here's what the table looks like before all the rendering, minus the sketches and stuff. You can see like the little intersections on the the model that I had to paint over, just stuff like that. But yeah, this is I didn't change much for the paint over. I just kind of added the values and the little stylistic stuff onto it, and I really like how this one came out. And like I added some front and back view stuff right here. Some props like the little candle holders, a little journal or something, some maps, the little bottles, just having fun with it. Once the prop is done, these are all just kind of things that you would find on the surfaces and like in little containers and stuff. I thought that was like a cool approach to it. And I've been looking at a lot of like layout inspiration on my Pinterest. So like I have a page just full of like layouts, and I just look at them and like I see what people do, and it's like, oh, okay, like that's a cool way to present, this and that, I guess. Especially, dude, Project Dragon is like a gold mine, dude. I swear to God, if any of you guys are trying to get into concept art or something, this is like, I don't know if it's like because it looks very expensive, right? Like in terms of what designs are being made there, but like I think this is a good example of what you could probably expect to be doing if you were like an environment concept artist, or like prop, environment and prop. This is more on the 3D side though, but like I'm trying to find the sketches, man. Shit. Let me look at my collections. There's this one chick that worked on it, and she's like, I've been looking at a lot of her stuff. Yeah, this one. So like, the layout, the page layout is pretty cool, and then you have the same prop, just like longer, shorter versions of it, differently decorated versions of it. It's just so cool. Listen, I'm not one for like cutesy shit like this, but like the amount of different details and little, the materials and the color changes, it's it's so well done, dude. I can't stop looking at it. I've never seen anything like this. Or maybe I have, but like it's never really dragged my attention like this one. So like I've just been looking back at this constantly, man. This artist is crazy. And then like this one too. I think this one's a really cool, you know, just presentation wise, it's just very solid to me. So I've been, like I said, I've been looking at a lot of presentation stuff, just seeing how people present their designs and whatnot. It's just really cool to see. Yeah. Yeah, boy. All right. So yeah, that's kind of like what I've been paying attention to for this in terms of like how I lay out the page. So yeah, and then I was just doing some table sketches, and this is where I kind of left off, but this has been giving me some problems because a lot of these look like chests, and it's not to say that they look bad. It's just like they don't look like the tables. Like I mean, this one looks like just a chest, but like longer. Because what I was trying to do, let me look at my time, because I'm trying not to go over an hour in this video. I gotta have at least one thing that I achieve in 2025. Yeah, so yeah, like what's it called? Yeah, I was trying to build the table in the same style as the chest. So like I feel like it just looks like it looks like a table that could be a chest, you know, but like with the scale of like the handles and things, it's obviously not like a chest. So, and it's a tabletop, you know, it has a tabletop. So that was like the one thing I was running into with these. Oh shit, I have like a little artifact, like not artifact, but like, you know, when you accidentally click somewhere with your pen and you don't notice it until later. It's like when my friend Evan, he was like rendering his 3D interior or whatever. There's like fucking like a statue just T-posed in the corner. He's like, fuck. Yeah. So like these ended up like, of course, if I rendered these out or like if I gave these the same treatment that I gave the, you know, this table, of course it would look like a table because of how like the scale of certain things and how it's going to be set dressed, at least to show that, you know, size wise or whatever. But like for these side sketches, they look almost 1-to-1 with a lot of these, like these right here, the chests. So it's like, bro, it's just like throwing me off a little bit. Obviously, like you know, these are more obvious for being chests and not tables, but there's something there that's bothering me. I'm probably gonna have to like show it through presentation. Like there's something I need to sketch in here that's not there yet, and some of them might look a little weird too, because this one is looking kind of weird. I think I like stretched it sideways, so it was probably like this or something. I stretched it like that so it's less like a chest, you know. But then I could have probably stretched it like that. But yeah, these were just a couple of explorations that I did one day. Like I did these for like a few hours or something, like just while I was watching a show. So I wasn't like locked in or anything, but yeah. And then so something with the table that I thought would be pretty cool, right? I thought this would be fucking sick if I was able to show a page of the top of it like lifting up, because that's what these little handles are there for, right? Like you grab each of the rings and you pull it up, and then you can prop like some things down to like open the inside. So that's what this is, right? So like I actually, it'd be better to show you the 3D model, but like, yeah, this is like a quick render of it. Basically, like you could lift the top of it up and it would show like a little bit of storage that goes around this area. So this whole spot right here is like this under storage. And then then you have the drawers on the bottom, and then like the open storage on the bottom of the table. Actually, yeah, let me show you guys that real quick. I think it'd be a lot easier to understand by seeing the model. And the crazy part is like that's why this is another reason why I'm looking into Substance Painter low key, is because like it's like if I could just add on these like the material differences, or not the material, but like the painting style that I tend to do in Photoshop there. Like, I could just pretty much render the model in Blender and pretty much almost get the same approach, like, or at least have like, you know, a big chunk of that done before I brought it into Photoshop for simple lighting stuff and reflections, you know, that I didn't want to bother doing in Blender. So yeah, this is like the idea, right? Like, let me merge these real quick with this one. Okay, I'm surprised my PC didn't shut down after that. I thought I would just fuck something up there. Okay, so there. Alright, so essentially this is... Oh. Okay, let me merge these two. Oh, shit. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know if I had a modifier that wasn't ready yet, or like applied yet, and then you apply it to like a whole nother thing on accident. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, so what the hell? Wait, what? Alright, I gotta put the 3D cursor to the origin to geometry, 3D cursor to... wait. Fuck. This is the thing. Like, when I'm recording myself doing things, I become conscious of like all the shortcuts I know, and I forget them all immediately. What's the thing that where you No, what the fuck? I started like animation. What the hell's going on here? Okay. Oh, see, and I did it without thinking. I didn't even think about like what button to press there. It was just straight muscle memory, and then I figured it out. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, this is something you can do, right? Little trick with Buddy Boy over here. Buddy Baldhead. Fucking alright, so if you want to move, like, say for example the origin. So the origin is pretty much what determines like how you scale it, right? How you move it, rotate it. You can use it in this way where I'm like pitting the origin at the 3D point, or the 3D cursor. That way when you rotate it, it does that as like a pivot. See, because if I press Z, like, and it's gonna rotate from this being the center. So you see this? You see, so like the Y axis is going straight through that point. So that's why you would move it to another point, so that way it's rotating off of that point instead. The way you would do that, I mean, you pretty much just move your origin. So you press Shift S. Oh fuck! All right, wait. I'll undo it real quick, just show you guys. All right, so geometry, origin to geometry. So you right click, set origin to geometry. That's gonna put it basically at a center point for whatever model you have. And then you press Shift S, cursor to active. Cursor to active is gonna bring the origin. So this little thing right here, it's gonna bring it to the origin. The 3D cursor is gonna move to the origin point of whatever object you have selected. So if I select this, it's gonna move this here. If I have this, it's gonna move that there. So Shift S, cursor to active, bada bing, bada boom. And then if I wanted to get it back down here, usually it's easier to just go into like a flat view of whatever you're doing and move it down with this. So like this is gonna be in. So if you don't see this the menu right here, it's gonna be in. You press it right there, and then you can move the location of the 3D cursor down or up. Now if you want to slow it down a little bit, you can press Shift, and it'll make it a little bit easier, because if you're doing this, I mean, depending on your sensitivity, that could be a real pain in the ass. And then once you got it in a better spot, cursor to active. Fuck. I mean, wait. Once you got it in a better spot, let me get it back down here. You right click, origin to 3D cursor, and that way it rotates to be, like that. Just a short little tip for you guys. So yeah, that was pretty much the idea here, right? It's like you would have the chest, you would have this like thing closed like this, and then you could pull it up, and then if there's an animation, it'd probably like wiggle, like when you brought it up, you're like, I'm not a sound designer for a reason. Um, so yeah, you'd get it like right there, and then like you would use these to like prop them up, right? Prop it up so it doesn't fall on your head while you're like doing stuff. And then like in here you probably have a bunch of scrolls, a bunch of like map locations to travel to, a bunch of treasure trails or something. Um, yeah, that was pretty much the idea. And then I have the back. Oh wait, where the hell? Where'd the back go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I did something where I had to do that, but like yeah, this is like the back of it. And then I just the part that goes through the diamonds or whatever, I just took that out. I kept it pretty simple in the back since it's not like the focal point or anything by any means. I just wanted there to be, you know, a front and back on the table 3 on this. So yeah, that's why I did that. So yeah, that's pretty much how it looks. And then I had these little things that could open, that you could open and close, that would probably have, you know, your small ink bottles or something. I don't know what you would put in here, but I'm sure you guys got ideas. And then like you'd have a bunch of scrolls in here, and then like bada bing, some random shit. That's what I planned on sketching in once I did the second page, but like I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna do it like I was gonna have, because right now I'm trying to figure out how to present it without having to draw the whole thing, but also have the context understood in terms of like where this is actually at. This could be a case of me like just underestimating, you know, readability or something like that. But the way that I was gonna do this page was like a furniture assembly type thing, right? So like if I did draw the whole thing again, I like have the numbers like in the thing. So like I'd have, you know, it's like, oh, three is this piece right here. You know, 5 is the little diamond on the side. You know, 4 is something. 1 is these. You know, so like it'd be like for 3D modeler kind of like, because what I've been doing and where I got that influence from is because I've been, like I said, I build the if I order furniture, it's usually these lightweight assembly things. So like you know, you assemble them with the pieces and the screws, and it tells you which screw is which letter. You know what I mean? So I thought that'd be like a fun thing to do in terms of presentation. I'm just kind of figuring out how I would have it fit the page. Probably looking at it now, I'd probably go over this with like quick line work, right? Have it maybe in the top left or maybe in the center, I'm not sure. And then I would have just these pieces just surrounded, you know, surrounding it. Even though they're essentially like kind of all the same thing, it'd just be kind of cool to have like that extra bit of clarity, I guess. Because I'm also thinking in terms of like 3D students, like if they want to take a piece and like make a 3D functional 3D model or whatever out of it, they don't have to guess on any details that I may have presented them in a lackluster way or something. I don't know. Oh, and then there's another thing too. I was gonna put film grain on it, so I thought that was kind of a nice little touch. I thought that like made it look a little cooler, just a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now with the project. I'm trying to, like I said, I was trying to finish it by the end of the month, but fuck. Oh, let me show you guys something else. So yeah, the commission that I was doing with was with this company called Alcrate, and they recently let me see, I posted it on my page or on my story a while ago, but it's pretty cool to see. I'm looking for it right now. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Wait, no, that's the other artist's cover work. Okay. So yeah, this is something that I got to work on. Learned a lot from this, by the way, because it's tricky, right? It's tricky doing these things, but here, let me show you the actual, because I'm able to show them now. I just haven't put them on my Instagram yet. Yeah, so I have these. I have this one. So this is basically like that book cover. And there's so many things that I would have, like, if this was my own thing, I would have done them differently. But like, you have to fit the accuracy of the book description, because like there's a lot of material breaking I would have done here, like adding curtains to break up the wood silhouettes, you know, and whatnot. But like, you got to keep it accurate to the book description, so you keep it, you know, bada bing bada boom. And then there's some parts I had to, like, I sadly had to rush over, but like overall I'm satisfied. I think this is the one I like the most. This was like the inside of the book thing. So here, let me turn on my webcam real quick. Let me make sure all my snacks are out of the fucking camera. Let me see. Okay. This is either gonna be really good or really shit. Let's see. Okay. Okay, got my RPG out of the fucking webcam spot. Okay. Let me see. Sources. Video capture. Add source, device, USB camera. Okay, there we go. Oh shit, you only see the top of my head. Okay. Alright, so my head's not supposed to be that big on the camera. Alright, I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, this book that I worked on, they sent me a package with a bunch of shit in it. That's pretty cool. It was like they sent me the books that I worked on, which is this one. It's pretty cool to get to show you guys, not gonna lie. It's hot as hell in here, by the way. It's like it's something like, why do I have the hat on? Fuck it. You guys know I'm bald. Don't tell anybody, all right? Here, I'll make this bigger so you guys can see me with this book. Okay, so holy shit. All right, so this is the book. I didn't paint the cover. This is a different artist, but like the part that I painted, and it's pretty. I fucking swear to God, this thing keeps sliding out of my hand. So like, yeah, they have the back of it and the legends and lattes kind of thing. It was a. Sorry if you guys hear my stomach rumbling. I have not eaten yet. Because I woke up and immediately started trying to work. Couldn't do it. And then, yeah, did some laundry and shit. So, like, yeah, they have different... It looks like they worked with a lot of different artists to, like, bring life to this thing, which is pretty cool. They had, you know, the... Let me take my part off of there real quick. Alright, so, yeah. They have like this cool like art style on the inside, which is pretty cool. They have the I don't know what this is called, but it's like on the, yeah, it's on like the outside, and then there's the back of it, which is strange now, right? Because I wish I could have seen like more context of the surrounding area, so like I could have made the concept more like faithful to that, but it's whatever. It's a pretty cool book, man, I'm not gonna lie. And then this is like the front of it. It's like this. It's got like the texture on it. And then like on the part that I did was like the inside cover thing. So it looks pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, look. Oh. I tried to do that like but like my voice is fucking cracked. I can't do it. It came out like a whimper, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, oh, this is the author. He's got his little page on there. Cool guy, man. I loved working with these guys, man. They were really in terms of like the feedback that they gave, they were really, you know, easy to work with. I can't really say that's always been the case with clients and stuff, but I don't think any freelancer can, if I'm being honest. Okay, so here, I gotta make sure this thing is off. Okay, so this is the other one. This is my favorite personally. Same thing here. Like they have the thematic like page endings, which is pretty cool. And then like the same kind of art on the inside. So like, oh man, dude, whoever did that did a great job, man. That's pretty good stuff right there. They got like the art from the other artists, and it's pretty cool. It's really nice to have something that you can hold, you know, that you worked on, that you did a little bit of work on. So, and it was really nice of them to send this to me. You know, having something tangible is just amazing. See, I think this one is my favorite one though. It was just so straightforward. I've always been better with like smaller environments over like, you know, gigantic multi-roomed ones, and it has like flavor text on the back. Every book is a little mirror, and sometimes you look at it and see someone else looking back. Pretty cool. Not gonna lie. What else? What else can I show you guys? Dude, please. I'm gonna break this book. Like, I don't want to break it on accident, man. I'm such a bonehead when it comes to like handling like precious things, you know. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So I got the book back, and like now I pretty much have an entire section on my bookshelf that like of stuff that I got from working on a book. Oh, and then they sent me with the package. They sent me 3 little sketchbooks, man, or not sketchbooks, but like notebooks. So like it's like dude, these are pretty well made too. Like they have the like texture on them and stuff. So I got like 3 of these. By the way, this is from rubbing my face. If you, I don't know how to explain it. My face is so dry because I see it in the camera, dude. My face is so dry. If I rub my face on my shirt, it'll look like you'll see like all the dead skin just come off. Hey, I'm just spitting that out there. I don't want nobody saying nothing crazy. All right, I'm fucking watching you guys. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like these 3 colors, that's pretty cool. What else? Oh, they sent this like cool pen. It's a cool pen, like based off of one of the props in one of the books. That was pretty cool. It's like a little sword. Speaking of swords, actually, let me show you guys something else. I got this bad boy. They didn't send me this, but like I got this. One of my friends, he went to this flea market sale, and they had he sent me a Snapchat, and they had this sword. The hilt's a little wobbly though. I don't know if you can really see it, but this sword's fucking heavy, bro. But it looks so badass. I didn't get the sheath though. They didn't have the sheath, but yeah, this thing was like $20, and I was like, oh fuck yeah! Like, here, look at how heavy this thing looks. This is how big this thing is. You see it? Wait, you see that? The sword's still coming down. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, me being a medieval like nerd, medieval fantasy nerd, I couldn't resist having that. And of course I have the painting or whatever that I bought, the little D&D looking thing. What else can I show you guys? Oh, I bought the D&D book. Probably not one of my smartest purchases, if I'm being honest, but like I thought this was pretty cool. Like a lot of the artwork in this book is pretty cool, so yeah, I thought that was because I'm in a campaign with one of my roommates with D&D, so I just figured I'd buy that because I'm running if you guys are curious, I'm running a wild mage. So I usually play like a fighter type character, but like I was like, oh, wild mage seems pretty cool. So I figured I'd run one, and I like it so far. I like the unpredictability about it. The only thing I don't like about the 5e edition though is that like it seems like you're more like a Marvel fucking superhero than like, someone dealing with chaotic magic. My monitor. Yeah, it's like you're more like a like a damn superhero than a someone that's using and wielding this unpredictable magic. It's kind of tricky. So like I might add some mishaps or something from like previous editions into it. Cause like I was playing Baldur's Gate 1 and I casted a spell and a bunch of cows popped out of nowhere and I thought that was the funniest shit. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit and I casted a spell and a smoke cloud was like around the whole thing and everyone was blinded. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's good times. But hey, oh shit. All right, I'll see you guys. Thanks for checking in. Bye.